Welcome to episode 5 of Idle Talk. Today, we're talking about traveling, everything about traveling, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Joan, do you got anything about travel that you want to kick us off with?
I want to travel some more. I want to travel the country. I haven't had, per se, a bad experience traveling.
Yeah. So you haven't broken up with anybody, while on vacation?
No, and even if I had gone to that point where I wanted to break up with somebody, I would most definitely wouldn't do it on vacation.
I hear stories all the time about people going through that, breaking up while on vacation.
That's
and it's big. Why? Why would you? Why?
You ruined the whole thing.
Yeah. Now you're both upset and in the same room.
Yeah. And you can't go anywhere, and then you gotta go on the same flight.
Yeah, flight back. In the same Uber back.
That's the worst. Imagine you do that and it's not even 2 days in.
Damn, it's the first day, an hour in. Actually, I want to break up. We have 2 weeks here.
Yo, that would be horrific. No, I haven't had any horrible experiences. I've had amazing experiences.
Not even horrible, like your luggage got stolen or anything like that. So all of your traveling from start to finish has been perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Yeah. I'm lucky, me, I guess. Have you had that experience?
No, maybe minor hiccups here and there. Just
what are minor hiccups?
Maybe getting lost. That's a minor hiccup.
But no, that hasn't happened.
Yeah, so that's just for me to the extent that I can remember. I don't think anything terrible has happened while I was traveling. Besides, I don't even think I had a flight delayed either. So I think I've been pretty also lucky in that realm of just everything being pretty smooth from start to finish.
The craziest thing is someone had a fear that her tooth got chipped or is falling out, and then she just started crying in the room. And I'm like, no, your smile's good, you're good. And then she just had a moment. She really just had a moment because she thought her teeth were all messed up, and I was like, nah, you're good. And that's the worst.
How did that happen? What was the prelude to that?
Bro, we were just in the room. We weren't doing anything.
So nothing happened. Maybe a wine bottle hit her tooth too hard, or she hit a spoon or something.
It was a fork.
It's a fork.
It was a fork.
The almighty fork. They say that, right?
Yeah. And I was just in shock. I was like, you good? There's nothing wrong with your teeth. And she just started bawling.
Did you check it? Did you really
yeah, because it was her front. It was supposedly her front teeth, but it was just, you're good. You just checked your front teeth. But that's the worst experience I've had during traveling. One of my best experiences was traveling to Puerto Rico. It was just great food, good people, good sights, beautiful beaches, low price, weather was fantastic, architecture was again beautiful. It was just all around a great experience.
How long did you stay there?
For a solid week and 2 days.
Week and 2 days. So
yeah, 9 days.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. What part of Puerto Rico stuck out to you the most?
La Perla.
What's that?
La Perla is supposed to be designated the most crime-ridden spot in Puerto Rico, but they really cleaned it up or gentrified it for tourism because it's right next to the capital. And my girl at the time, she really wanted to go because she wanted to travel to different parts that weren't tourist spots. She wanted to actually see the place. I was like, all right, cool.
How'd you guys get there?
Huh?
How'd you guys get there?
Uber.
Is it Uber in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, I think there's Uber.
Is there Uber everywhere?
I think so.
Oh,
I think it's international now.
Interesting.
So we Ubered over there, and I was personally worried because when I look it up, it's yo, this spot you'll get jumped. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go because I'm no pussy, but yo, if some shit happen, just you run and I'll handle it. But you hold on to all the money. I gave her my phone, everything that was of value. Yeah, I let her hold on to
just to be safe.
Yeah. And we went there, and it was actually lit. I guess they really cleaned that place up, or it isn't as bad as they say, because we went there, we got some weed, we got some good food, we went and talked to people. they were very sociable. They were very kind and like neighborly.
Yeah.
So probably wrong time or not as bad as they say.
I mean, you did go in a downtime for tourism, right? Like,
yeah, but then a downtime.
So imagine they're like, all right, just barely any tourists. Let's chill. But in June, let's get up and start robbing people.
And also, like, we spoke Spanish there the whole time, so we weren't.
You don't stick out.
Yeah. So we weren't like English speaking. I remember we were at one part, and this guy was giving water. And this girl came up and it's like in pure English. She was just like, "How much is the water?" He was like, $2.50.
Yeah.
And then I went up to him and was like, "¿Cuánto para el agua?"
Yeah.
And he was like, $1.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, he just played this."
That's $1, by the way, if you don't speak Spanish. $2.50 if you just speak English. $1 if you speak Spanish.
Yeah. So
that's how Mexico is too.
I think I would feel like that's how it would go around the world, right? If you speak the language, they're not gonna really
try to
hustle you because you know the hustle.
Yeah, swindle.
Yeah.
I was gonna say swindle.
Swindle is a better
same
word.
thing. Yeah.
That's one of my best experiences. I've had the best pineapple pizza in Puerto Rico. So it was so fresh.
You're a fan of the pineapple goes on pizza?
From there, because the pizzas were so large and juicy.
Do you think the sweet and I don't know. I was gonna say sweet and sour, sweet and savory. Yeah, you think that's a good combo for pizza? Yeah,
I think I gotten out of that like what's a good combo, what's not a good combo a couple years ago, because like when you actually are open to things.
Yeah. So you just try stuff.
Yeah. For the first time, it's just like it's whatever.
And then if you don't like it, you're just like, all right, don't like that. Yeah.
Or it's like I'll try it another couple of years, acquire taste, you know, because avocado wasn't the shit back then, but now I could eat avocado.
Oh, you got into the avocado hype, huh?
I was introduced to that hype before it was hype because Dominicans use that for almost anything. So, but to me back then, avocado tasted like nothing. Yeah, like to me, it still tastes like nothing. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, okay. And that's embedded in my culture. Yes. So, I don't know. For me, avocados don't taste like anything. It's just, I mean, I don't use it in things, but like when I make guacamole, it's just like I just don't eat it because it doesn't taste like anything to me. Oh wow, that's new information to me. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe in a few years, like that, I had that problem with onions too, and then I started cooking and making more stuff with onions, and then like, what is something that you tried on your travels that like opened your mind to it again? Tofu. My recent travels there's been a lot of vegan options explored, and so before I was like, tofu is ass. Tofu is ass. Fuck tofu. Whoever eats tofu, fuck you. Like that was the thing going in. Page. But then I had some good ass fake chicken, and I was just like, tofu's kind of good. But I again, just like that particular spot, maybe I like the most like vegan things, like if it's fake meat or fake whatever, is gonna either come from soy or tofu in any way, shape, or form, or any combination. And so now, like when I eat like vegan things, it's like it's not bad for me. It's like, oh, hey, I missed the taste of real chicken. Like to me now, the flavors have gotten so good in the vegan department where it's like it kind of tastes the same to me. And so now I wouldn't be afraid to explore vegan options if it's presented to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't necessarily need the chicken breast anymore. I could, if I'm feeling like it, I could get the vegan option instead and see how that goes. So now like that curiosity is there now where it's like, let's see how this place tastes, because I never had a vegan spots here in New York. Yeah. But in all the places that I traveled over the summer, hit a vegan spot at least once in every place. And the more and more places we went, the more spots I got to try, and I just grown to like appreciate that instead of being a vegan hater and like like meat only. Like so now that part I've unlocked that in my arsenal. Yeah. I hate tofu though. I wouldn't eat it. Like I wouldn't go out and buy and eat it. Like I still won't do that, because you can make vegan scrambled eggs with tofu. Vegan scrambled eggs with tofu? Yeah. Like just how you would scramble eggs, you could do that with the tofu block.
and then season it a certain way, and it'll taste like eggs. But
I was about to say, like, it's not vegan at that point if you use eggs, but okay.
No. You're not using eggs at all. You're just using the tofu. Yeah. And they came out pretty good, and I enjoyed them. But again, I don't think that's something I would
indulge in.
Yeah. But I have now appreciated the flavoring and how to treat the tofu to make it taste how I would want it to taste.
Because, like, the argument that I've been presented with when I say, like, I hate tofu, since it's like, it just depends on how you season it. I was like, no.
It is
not for me.
Because you're not doing it right. I don't think you're doing it right. There's levels to it. I think tofu is maybe like a higher level you got to get to, because you got to learn how to do all these other stuff to be vegan. And I think maybe tofu is like a final test. Like, you got to figure out how to use tofu. So, but I went to a bunch of states. I played a first year of college football, so I got to go to like Wisconsin, Vermont, like places we had games and stuff. So traveling on a bus is so funny because you got 22 guys in one bus, and then there's another bus that has the other 22 or 25 guys on that bus, and then there's just two bus full of college students, and we're just fucking around. It takes like 3 days to get to a place, and so we leave on Wednesday, we get there on Friday, play on Saturday. So I missed like all my classes. And so like I think that's a cool experience to have, where you're just like traveling by bus and it's you and the guys, and really you're supposed to be focused going to the game, but then it's like it's 3 days to travel there, so you're not focused all 3 days.
Because that's intense.
So, and then it wouldn't be any fun. And then we would bring movies, and they'll play the movies. The bus driver would be hilarious always. And the thing about bus companies in Western New York, you can own the bus you drive. So you could buy the bus, and you just drive that specific bus. And so we would basically have the same kind of bus drivers every time. And so they would come with us, and we would bond with the bus drivers, fuck around with the bus drivers, and it would be so fun to do. Like, and so that pops out to me the most as the most fun, like with a giant group of people. Like that was just an amazing experience, just to be able to have fun and play football and then go back. So, because we would leave immediately after the games just to get back on Monday. And so some people didn't want to shower after that, and I'm just like, no, everybody's got to shower. Offense bus, everybody's got to shower. Like, get in the shower. Like, and that was the coaches saying that, like the offensive coaches, and we were like, I bet. But I remember when I was younger, I would go to Mexico a lot. Like when I was 8, and I went for like 8 years in a row. So from like 8 to 16, I went to Mexico by myself. And
solo dolo.
Yeah. And we had to pay like a flight attendant to like sit next to me. Like there's a program like that.
Oh, okay.
That kids can travel by themselves if the parents can't go. And then this flight attendant would just be sit with the kids. And so I did that for like a few years, and then I was able to just sit by myself without the flight attendant being there. And I missed the fact that I could skip the line
as a kid.
Now I'm gonna hop on a flight soon, and it's like I gotta wait on the line like an adult, and I'm just like, oh, I remember when I was a kid, I could just fucking skip the line and then like fill out all my shit on the plane and then give it to them at the location I would end up in. But just remembering that, just traveling from like 8 to 16. I remember my mom thought she said that she thought I was gonna run off the plane the first time and then come back and not go, and that just was like, all right, I'm in the plane now. I remember like my first plane ride, I was like, wow, there's so many people in here. And so I sat, there's a bunch of kids with me, and I was like, all right, this is cool, and I just took off.
Are you used to that pressure as the flight comes off?
I love that feeling in the stomach it gives me. I take off my seatbelt for landing too. It's like, put on your seatbelt. I'm like, yeah, it's on. Look. No, as soon as the flight attendant leave, pop that shit off. I feel like it reminds me of that feeling roller coasters give you. But I hate roller coasters. I hate them.
I love roller coasters.
I hate roller coasters.
I love roller coasters.
But I guess I feel safer in the plane than in a roller coaster.
I love roller coasters, man. I love roller coasters. I have the pass for Six Flags, just in case. Now?
You have that now still?
Yeah.
You didn't get a refund?
You can get a refund?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because of COVID.
No, I didn't get it.
He's like, for the memories. They played me. But I love roller coasters.
But I love roller coasters. 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 Another time, another travel story is like I went to Canada, and I didn't know there were so many French speaking Canadians. I didn't know that.
Which part did you go to?
Like,
did you go from like our side of Niagara Falls?
Yeah. It was like I was already in Pittsburgh. Right?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
So you were there.
So I was there, and then we went to Canada.
So did you go through Niagara Falls?
I was on my phone.
You didn't see the giant waterfall that...
Then no.
No.
Then no. Then no. I say that because I wasn't really paying attention to the road. I was just on my phone because it was a long drive. Yeah.
You didn't look outside once.
I did, but it wasn't something I was really focused on. I was like, oh, trees. And just kept it moving. And
bro, what if you were getting kidnapped? You're not gonna remember the way you got?
YOLO, man. If I'm already getting kidnapped, it's whatever. Like, you really gonna kidnap?
No, what if they were gonna kidnap you once you got to Canada? Like, how would you get back?
I'm done. Like, I'm
what if you or somebody else was getting kidnapped, and then you guys and everybody else, whoever was with you, knew about it?
We're not surviving.
No, not even together, because none of you paid attention.
We're not surviving. Because if someone's gonna kidnap me, I'll give it to them because they went through a lot of work for little old me. What value do I have to a kidnapper? Mm-hmm. I don't have no value. But we went to Canada. There were just so many French-speaking individuals, and that surprised me. And I was like a little bit taken aback. Yeah. Which was interesting though, because like one of the people that were there, he was like, "Yeah, they all speak French." But some of them speak French so that they don't have to speak English to Americans.
I would do that too, honestly.
I've done that sometimes where I've like only spoke English so that I don't have to speak Spanish to certain people because I don't really want to speak Spanish. Yeah. But that had me rolling. Canada.
What did you do in Canada? Why'd you go?
It was to help somebody with some project.
So you just randomly said, "All right, I can go."
Yeah, because it was like Canada.
You had your passport?
Yeah. Always carry that on me.
You really always carry that on you?
Most of the time.
So you went to Pennsylvania first, right? So you brought your passport to Pennsylvania? Like you knew you were going to go to Canada, or like it just...
No, it was just there. Just in case, like, when I do certain travels, like when I leave the state, I carry my passport just in case I lose my ID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you went on a cross-country road trip. And I feel like that has so many goddamn good stories. Or so many, like... experiences.
Yeah, I mean, it was just something that just came up. It was a throwaway idea, I want to say. But at the time when the person like said it, I was like, yeah, I'd be down. That's something I always wanted to do. Like I had that idea in my mind, but I just wouldn't know how to do that, right? And then so many years later, when this idea came about, now it was like, oh shit, I guess we're really doing it. Yeah. And we had a date. We're like, all right, let's leave June 15th. I was like, all right, cool. That gives me enough time to like do whatever. And then so we're getting closer to the date. And then they were like, let's leave June 12th. And I was like, shit, okay, let's go. And we left June 12th that night. And our first stop was like, we were going to Tennessee. And so we drove down. So we passed Jersey, we passed Pennsylvania, all those places. And it was just cool seeing these places empty in that night, especially since COVID was out and about. Like there was nobody really out.
Yeah, I forgot you were traveling during the pandemic.
We had a good time, right? Traveling the end of the world. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's a movie right there.
That is a movie. That's a movie that writes itself, honestly, especially all the places that I got to go to. And gas was stupid cheap. Ooh. It was amazing. And gas was stupid cheap in New York. And other places, it's even cheaper.
I feel like that's one of the things about traveling outside of New York. Yeah. You see the freaking inflation that New York puts on everything.
Yeah, you do. When I went to South Carolina for my internship, I drove there. And when I got there and I showed you guys the gas price, I'm like, yo, it's $1.89 here, gas per gallon. And then I was like, that's crazy. When I left New York, it was like $2.65 or whatever. And it's just because we're here in like the city area of New York, and those prices are definitely inflated. Like $3.39, like that's ridiculous. Like, I was gonna say, who pays that? Obviously, a lot of people pay it because they have no choice. But just like noticing that gas prices, gas station people that you meet, like people you meet at gas stations are like some of the most interesting people I've ever met. Like people who don't know you and they you don't know them, and they ask you questions, and it's like, all right, I'll answer. Yeah, let's talk. I'll never see you ever again, like ever. So it's interesting to hear like people's like cashier clerks like at gas station. I'm like, hey, I need a refund. Like, I gave you $20 and I only filled up $18. And they're like, oh, that reminds me of the time. And then they get into a deep story. And it's like, I'm waiting for my $2. And I was like, yo, you just told me some shit. And now I'm going to walk away with my $2 and that story in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I remember one instance I went to a gas station. They're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I thought off the bat, I'm like, oh, this is a racist place?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, I'm just passing through. I was like, all right, good, leave, because there's nothing here. There's nothing to do here. Like, get out of here. And I was like, oh, it's that kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
like
they hate this location.
They hate that place. And I was like, why are you still here then? Like, why are there people here if you hate it here, you know? Like, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just take your own advice and just leave?
They're stuck, though.
Yeah, and that sucks that people are stuck in
their spots.
But and then the thought process of that was like, when somebody leaves their hometown or home state, like,
as in traveling or like leave to like move?
Like both traveling or move. It's like there's a realization that like, oh, there's other places that are very different than where I'm from. But then again, I feel like when somebody from that place leaves there, like, to go somewhere else, like, everybody's having that thought. Like, this place is so different than where I'm from. It's better. So wherever you leave somewhere and you get to another place, it's always going to feel better.
Yeah.
But when somebody leaves their place and goes to your place, they think your place is better. And so I don't really think any place is bad or
they have
worse.
Their pros and cons.
Yeah, I feel like if you're not from there, you're gonna see the good,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to if you're from there and you only seen the bad.
It's like when somebody meets your family, and like, yo, your brother's really funny, and you're like, yo, my brother's a dick. Like,
fucking yeah, exactly. That's the perfect analogy.
And just like you don't know because you haven't experienced enough, or just like when people are from the countryside and they're like, yo, I want to be in the city, and people in the city is like, I'm tired of seeing buildings. I want to see trees. Like, you are.
The grass is always greener on the other side, for sure. Just these different gas station people, and just like, I remember we talked about this a different time, and you were like that sometimes gas stations are like a social hub.
Yeah.
For towns, and I was like, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's people that just be chilling in the parking lot, just having a conversation, and it looks like they've been there a while because they got their 6-pack open, they're sitting in the bed of their trucks and just like talking casually.
Yeah, I want to experience that, bro. I want to go on a road trip, but I went to Cali once for like 2 days to see dispensary that my friend owns, and it was surprising how big the trees are, the weed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't know that they grew to those heights. It was
how big,
like tall, like taller than my ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, they were abnormally large. It was a good experience. Didn't spend a lot of time.
What did you do in your short time there?
Just looked at the dispensary because he wanted me to help. He wanted me to help try to figure out how to do it here.
Mm-hmm.
And what we figured out, we had to have $1 million in assets before we could start a dispensary here in Westchester. So that was pretty much a dub.
Damn, $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So speaking of Cali, that is where the destination of that cross-country road trip was.
Yeah.
So driving from New York to Cali, that was interesting because the middle of the country is so goddamn long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at the map of the United States, like, oh, this is a little block. We only have to pass this much of that state to get to the next one. But it feels forever, dude.
Yeah.
The middle of the country was arguably the funniest experience for me because I think I'm pretty good on my own, like, in a room. Like, I could be in a room for a long time.
By yourself.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be, like, bored or, like, anxious.
You're good at isolation.
Yeah. And this other person definitely was not good at that.
Mm.
And it was interesting to just be in the same car with them. And it was just, like, 565 miles straight road. Like, straight.
Yeah.
In a line. And looking back at it, I can definitely see how that is too much to do in one sitting. And that is a long time. That is like 5 hours worth of driving. But
it 5 hours worth of driving?
Maybe more.
I think it's way more. 5.
I don't think so though. I don't think it's way more.
5 hours.
But because if you're going 100 miles an hour, because no one's really regulating the traffic down there.
Okay.
Gas is stupid cheap. Like gas is like $1.50 in the middle of the country. It's a cash only places too, so they don't really got cars out there.
Oh wow!
In those gas stations, but I can see how somebody could go nuts, like driving that distance for that long, and there's nothing in the middle of the country, like no trees, nothing. It's just straight grass, like wheat grass, like things like that, and so that gets repetitive. It gets boring, and towards the end though, I started losing my mind a little bit. I was like. This fucking sucks. Like, get me out of here. Get me out of here.
On the way back?
No, to going. We were going to Colorado from Tennessee, so we had to go from Tennessee to Colorado, and before we got to Colorado, it was brutal. Like that drive, it was just how long it was. It was like 18 hours total, like driving, and there was nothing to see. Like everything looked the same after a while. Like maybe there were some funny signs here and there, like advertisement signs, but wasn't enough to be like enjoying the ride. So I put the car in cruise control and I just went. And when we finally got to Colorado, going from Colorado to California was easier because we got Vegas in there in between. Like the sites were arguably better to look at than from Tennessee to Colorado.
It's odd that you guys didn't stop at Vegas.
No. That's not the COVID hub too though.
Oh, okay.
So but we drove by it though. We got to see, like, we were on the freeway, so we got to see basically things around the strip and stuff. But so I got to see the new Raiders stadium before it was fully done, and that looked cool. That looked like a spaceship. But I love driving personally. Like I could definitely do that again and better now because I did it a first time, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't mind driving for a long time. Like I'm robotic in that way where I could drive long periods of time and not feel some type of way about it or get tired easily. Like when I stop for gas, I definitely like stretch and stuff, and I definitely need like 3 monsters to get through it. Like so if it's an 18-hour drive and I know I'm taking the first like 10 hours or so.
What about 5-hour energy? You don't like that?
No, ew, that tastes like syrup.
Oh, okay. I don't like any.
No, I definitely need the pink monster, and I need it cold, like ice cold. So
Pink monster? What flavor is that?
I don't know what flavor.
Oh, okay.
Do energy drinks really have flavor, or are they just like straight sugar and like whatever else it is?
I don't know because I don't even drink energy.
I don't even think there's flavors to them, honestly. I just know I like the pink one. I put it in ice. I have like a thermal, and I put ice in the thermal, so I keep the ice all day.
Yeah.
And then so I pop one as soon as I start the car. And then maybe like 2 hours later, I'll pop another one. And then towards the end, if I ever start feeling sleepy, I'll pop the last one. But that's my routine to driving long distances and times. But Cali was nice. I got to visit Southern and Northern California when I was there. So I spent a month there. And then a month everywhere else. So a month specifically in California, and then a month divided
all the other places that you visited.
Yeah, so I got to go to San Diego, LA, San Francisco, Bay Area, and Santa Cruz. That was cool.
Those are lit spots.
Yeah, especially we got to do all regular people things. Like there was no tourism, so everything that we got to experience how the locals would experience it. And so I love doing that. Like that was good. Like I don't want to do that many touristy things. Just because, again, like, you know how you get like upcharged for things and
you don't get the real experience.
Yeah, and so we got to witness these places how they are normally, and I think that was cool experience. I don't think we'll be able to get that kind of experience anytime soon again, just because once the country starts opening up, I think we're gonna have a heavy focus on tourism for a long time.
Like, hell yeah!
Trying to get back those tourism dollars.
Well, when is it gonna? Because we're about to get hit with another wave.
I don't know when it's gonna open up, but I just know that let's say we open up in 2021. I think 2021 will be focused on rebuilding the tourism industry in this country.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a hard time trying to find like that that local experience anytime soon. So
that calm retreat.
Yeah. I went to school for sport management, and the first thing they told me at first day of freshman intro to sport management was like, be ready to relocate wherever there's a job, because in sports you always got to start off shitty and then before you can get to the job you want. So if you want to end up working for the New York Giants, you got to definitely work at some bumfuck middle of nowhere baseball AAA league, like, and then make your way up and prove yourself that way. And so I already made that commitment where it's like, all right, I don't care where I end up. Yeah, I'll go where the wind takes me. And so that took me to South Carolina, to a dope ass internship. Like, I didn't pay for housing or food. Like, it was all set. Like,
that is a dope ass internship.
Like, all I had to do was show up and make sure everything was good and try my best every day, and I did. And that led to an opportunity for a job there, and I didn't get it just because I got beat out by somebody with like an adult with like more experience. Yeah. But I think that I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity if I didn't go as hard in my internship as I did. Like, I got that far to the end where it was like, but he's good. We know he's good. He did it like right here. So I got that far. So I was really appreciative of that experience, kind of just going to South Carolina. That was my first interstate travel on my own. And so that kind of helped. That kind of gave me like that itch of like, I want to go more places with my car. And so, like, I remember me and Fabian were talking about, let's go to Florida, like, to go to the Disney World. Or whatever comes after Disney there. So Disney World, Disneyland, or whatever it is. So we were like, let's go there. And I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, let's start saving up money. And I had my money saved up. That's how I was able to afford to go on this cross-country road trip, because I had a lot of money saved up. And not necessarily I didn't have any use for it, but I was like, let me use it for this. Yeah. I'm fucking 22 years old at the time. I turned 23 on the trip. And so I was like...
And now you're 34.
No, yeah, I'm a fucking 40-year-old man. And I was like, let me just I'll just recoup this. I'm fucking young and dumb. Let me just
young, dumb, and reckless.
Yeah, let me just experience this for the one time. So that was fun. I feel like I grew a lot.
To anyone who's listening, I highly encourage traveling. The times that I've traveled, the moments that I've like put in, and the money that I've not wasted but invested in traveling, outside of that, like, they weren't a waste. Those were gained experiences. Those were wisdom learned. Yeah. And I wouldn't take that back. I would rather spend my money on experiences and traveling than anything that's material. Yeah. To be honest. Because some of the best experiences are talking to those individuals that you have no connection to, like on the gas stations, where you talk to these people where you're never going to meet them again. There's this level of openness when you're having those conversations, and a level of honesty, because there's no way they're going to talk to you again.
It's like therapeutic.
Yeah, and there's no way that they can point you out, you know? So you can just be honest.
Because you're just one of hundreds of people they'll see that day. Because they're working at the gas station.
And one of millions of people that they'll see throughout their lifetime. They'll forget about you, but they won't forget the experience, hopefully. But there's just so much things that you can learn. I've had experiences like in Puerto Rico and DR, where in Canada, where just like talking to people gave me an insight of life. Yeah. That I was just like, wow. That I just want to continue going. And also, not even just talking to people, but like seeing what's outside of my circle. Yeah. Opened my eyes to a lot of new things. So traveling is a must. If you're a homebody, don't be a homebody that stays at home, literally. Like, just say you like watching TV, but you travel. Like, you have to experience the world in some way, shape, or form outside of your room.
What if I go in the living room?
That's corny. I'm just saying, I feel like that grows you as an individual so much.
Yeah. I mean, going to South Carolina kind of was like interesting, where it was like, I like it here. I like the South. Mm-hmm. And going on the road trip was like reiterated, I like the South. But then I went to Colorado and I was like, I fucking like Colorado. Colorado was dope. Like, it's like
sort of south,
south, but it's like
sort
of city and sort of country at the same time. And it's like, I like Colorado. Colorado's a good place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I had to choose to go anywhere again, it would probably be Colorado. It would probably be Seattle. I have to see Seattle. My meme for Seattle was like, "Where's iCarly at?" Like, trying to find the iCarlys. Like,
yeah. So that was a great show.
I enjoyed Seattle just because we had that Bond connection already from iCarly. So I was like, "Oh shit, I'm in Seattle! Like, look at the Space Needle. Look at this! Like, that. Like, I don't mind doing like touristy things like that, like visiting like monuments like that, like the Space Needle. Like, that was pretty dope to look at. I didn't go in it because you apparently could go in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm gonna look at it from the outside. Oregon was interesting. Oregon was an interesting place. We went to Portland, and Portland was having their protest there.
Yeah.
And so one side of Portland was chilling, and then when you go into Portland, it was like, oh, like there's
livid right now.
Mad cops out here.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I took a picture of a cool bridge, and I was like, yeah, there's so many cops in this park. Like, so many of the half of the people in this park are cops. Like,
yeah,
that's like how like crazy their movement over there was. And I was like, oh man, this is interesting to see like firsthand. Like, I am 2,000 miles away from New York. I'm in Portland. I'm in this park, and I'm just like, and there is like social movement going on here.
Yeah.
You know, it's like good to see that firsthand. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Like, this feels fake as fuck. Like, like, why am I here? Like, do I belong here? Like,
oh, okay.
Like, I was just like, whoa, like, just
like an out of body experience.
Yeah. So I love traveling across the United States like that. I kind of want to just do that forever.
I want to do that once. I want to do that once. It's like the money's not a problem. It's just I don't know. I guess I'll do it on foot.
That's where we'll end it. That was episode 5. I'm Fernando.
I'm Joan Manuel. That's done.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.